Peace. This is the enemy's public. And I am Bro.Nasir. Brothers and sisters, bear with me. This is my first time doing a live. And I want to talk to my people about the government sanctioned execution of Black men, women, and children. Now, in Brevard County, Florida, 2 teens were murdered by race soldiers in a moving car. I watched the video several times, and it seems to me that murder is always on the mind of these race soldiers when they're encountering Black people. I watched when the police officer, the race soldier, asked the young brothers to pull the vehicle over, and the brothers drove past him, and the police officer shot into the vehicle as the brothers were driving past them. Now, at no time during that encounter were the police life was in danger. Yet the narrative is that the police officer life was in danger, and the narrative is always that the police officer's life is in danger. Now, there's also another narrative that the young men, when I say young men, I don't mean grown men, because they like to take our 16, 17, 18-year-old children and make them men to take their innocence away from them. If I say young men, for the sake of not for argument, for just to call them and give them some type of respect. Now, the young brothers were in the vehicle, and they said they found guns in the vehicle. Yet, if they found guns in the vehicle and the young brothers didn't shoot at them, that wasn't their intention. And their intention was not to run the police officer over also. Now, the police officer said that he repeatedly said pull the vehicle over, and his commands were ignored. Yet, he said that the 3 occupants of the vehicle clearly heard him. That may be true. Yet, as far as the vehicle being stopped or pulled over, it's solely on the driver. And he shot into the vehicle, killing the driver and the passenger in the back seat. Yet, he said the vehicle came close to hitting him, which is a lie. Now, when they encounter our people, they either want to put them in jail or murder them. I did a video a few months ago explaining to our people that when you're encountered by a race soldier, just wait for them to come to the vehicle. Don't argue with them. Don't go word for word with them. Don't even conversate with them, because your rights are not respected by them. As a matter of fact, you don't have any rights as far as they're concerned. Now, I know you see white people going back and forth, brothers and sisters, with these race soldiers, saying what kind of rights they have. You know, they have rights and so-called owning the police. I know you see several videos like that, but that's race soldier on race soldier. That's white supremacist on white supremacist conversation. And it don't pertain to us. So when you're encountered by a race soldier, what you need to do is have your license, your registration, and your insurance ready for that police officer. Don't conversate with him, because when he conversate with you, he's only trying to incriminate you, and just deal with the subject at hand. And know that you are behind enemy lines. Keep your hand on the steering wheel. Do not reach, because he's waiting for you to reach so he can murder you. Now, as far as this murder of the two teens in Broward County, the sheriff officers, if you can see the vehicle, which will be in the description, they approached the vehicle with their guns drawn, because it was supposed to be a stolen car call that they were on. So they approached the vehicle again with their guns drawn. And when the vehicle went past the race soldier, they shot into the vehicle 10 times and shot into the back of the vehicle also, when the vehicle was all the way past them. These race soldiers are murderous, consistent, vicious enemies. We need to know who we are and who we're dealing with. These people are wicked, and you need to not give these people this opportunity to murder us. And we must know how vicious this enemy is. And there's no compassion in their heart. So those of us who think we're going to receive some compassion or even professionalism, you're not going to receive that. They want you to respect them when they don't even deserve it. Now, we had an 18-year-old down in Jacksonville that were murdered by Jacksonville police, who shot into the vehicle 35 times. Now, that's an overkill. That's totally excessive. And we need to understand that when we send our children out here, we're sending them out into the wilderness of North America. And not only that, nowadays, we're not even safe in our own homes. They come into our homes and they murder us, or they come into our home and they're disrespecting us. They think they can talk to a grown man or a woman in their home where they pay all the bills at as they please. And in a open carry state, I don't know if Florida's an open carry state, but I see white people with guns, so-called standing their ground, murdering Black people down in Florida. I know the brother at the convenience store was shot. I know Trayvon Martin was shot, among others, just to name two. They were shot by race soldiers with guns. So I don't know if it's open carry, but there's some people down there in Florida carrying guns, and they're killing Black people. That's just to name Florida. Yet, these race soldiers, no matter if it's a race soldier with a badge, or if it's a race soldier with a gun and murder on his or her mind, we need to consider that. And we need to also either we're going to die or we need to get on code, get solid as a people, and oblige these people in this war that was waged on us. Now, when I say that, I don't say go out here committing crimes and just being like them because they're murderous bastards. I'm not saying be like them. What I'm saying is we have to show so much solidarity and love and togetherness and on code with each other. So much to the point that when they see us, they know they can't come anywhere bothering us. That's the problem. When people look at us and see that we're not together and we're not solid, there's vulnerability. And we must not have, not necessarily show, we must not have any vulnerability in our family, our rank and file, because they use that against you. When they see and they know there's vulnerability in the rank and file, they take advantage of that. So we need to get ourselves solid, have a standing, disciplined army in every city that Black people are in. Peace to my good brother, Chris Cyphers. I appreciate you coming in, brother. It's my first time doing a live, and I don't know all the mechanism, all the ins and outs of this, and I'm going to get better as I go. But I appreciate you coming in. A good brother that I always chop it up with, and I appreciate him. Good brother from over on the West Coast, originally from here, but from the West Coast. Now, we must build a strong standing army. My General Abdul Karim Muhammad said we must organize, we must strategize, and we must deputize. We must have our rank and file all over this nation. We must have brothers that when we touch down in a city, we have brothers and sisters that we can call to meet and greet us. And you know you're among family when you're in a particular city. Now, that's what we need to build. Or else they're going to see that, okay, we can kill one of these niggas and get away with it. That's in their mind. Why? Because when your enemy can predetermine what's going to happen when one of us is murdered, that's a bad thing. When they could predetermine what we're going to do. Okay, a brother or a sister is murdered. Okay, they're going to march. They're going to yell and scream. They're going to yell, no justice, no peace. And that's what we're going to give them. We're not going to give them no justice. We're not going to give them no peace. And they're going to simmer down until the next person is murdered. We need to stop that narrative. And we need to let them know that there is a consequence for murdering a Black man or woman or one of our children. They need to know, whoever it is, I don't care who it is or who they work for. We need to let them know that there's a consequence for taking the life, the precious life of a Black man or woman. Because days, it used to be every so often, it's every other day. It's probably happening every day somewhere here in America. A brother or a sister is being murdered, being killed by a race soldier, whether it's a race soldier on the job or a race soldier just a murderous bastard who just don't like or respect human life. My brother and I, my brother Kyrie, peace to brother Kyrie of the Enemy's Public. That's my co-host, part of the Enemy's Public family. We're going to build a network of brothers and sisters from the Enemy Public, and we're going to be all over. So it's going to be a network. So look for a network of brothers and sisters, and we're going to be given the information, and we're going to be given our open and consistent, vicious enemy that work. That's what we're going to be doing. So brothers and sisters, get ready for it, because where I come from, we're fearless, and we just say what's on our mind, and we just deal with truth. That's what we deal with. Now, we're in very perilous times today. Now, we're in a so-called pandemic, or whether I would say, plandemic. Yet, people still have time to murder our brothers and sisters. They don't show no compassion. Now, the people they're pulling over, or the people they're harassing, or the people they're assaulting, more than likely are being affected by this COVID-19. And they'll still treat us with no compassion. It's been times when there were brothers and sisters in New York, they didn't have a mask. The brother and sister was beaten and taken to jail. But right up the street, it was a whole bunch of Caucasian people with no mask. The police gave them masks instead of beating them. Why couldn't they just give the brother and the sister's mask? Now, what's crazy about that is, in order for you to do something to someone, you have to come within 6 feet of them. They're violating the social distancing mandate and coming to assault a brother and a sister. Now, a few months ago, we had a Jewish rabbi who had died of coronavirus, COVID-19, and they had a funeral with 1,500 people there. 1,500 people. And no one was arrested. No one was given a citation. No one got in trouble for being at a funeral, busloads full of people at a Jewish funeral, 1,500. Yet, in the same city, there were some brothers and sisters at a barbershop. They all was arrested. They all was assaulted by the police. Now, you have 50 people against 1,500 people. The back number at the funeral was 450 more than the incident or situation at the barbershop. But this is how they treat us. And they treat us like this because we're not united. Now, just imagine you have a brother or a sister who goes to jail for doing something crazy because, and they did not think about what they were doing, and they went to jail. That's likely to happen. Yet we have a whole bunch of black thinkers who are not doing a damn thing collectively. Nothing collectively. Everybody wants to be the smartest person, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's, dealing with scholarship. Everybody wants to be the smartest person, but nobody wants to do anything collectively. That's our problem. We're too divided, and then we let, out of all things, nationality divide us and religion divide us. We have too many things that we let get in the way of our salvation. And now what's getting in our way is you have an election that just happened, and some people think that they won something, by Biden winning the election, that they won something. We didn't win anything. My brother Kyrie has 6 words to say to those who thought we want something or think we want something. And those 6 words is, I'll see you in 4 years. All these blue states will be crying the blues because, for one, I'm not going to go into the politics because I really don't care who's president. What I care about is our people united on one accord and doing for self. That's what I care about. It don't matter who is in that office if we're like we should be. Yet we let anything divide us. We have people like Roland Martin telling us that we're stupid because we don't vote for someone who we know is a racist. So therefore, no matter who wins, an oppressor will become the next president and vice president of the United States. It doesn't matter. And they are going to commit, or if they don't commit it themselves, they're going to allow government sanctioned executions of black men, women, and children. Let's see, since Biden said black people had his back, let's see if Biden have black people back when these race soldiers continuously assault and murder us. Let's see if the jailer, the 2 jailers who's going to take the office in January, have our back. Now, I didn't vote, so I'm not even an accessory to that crime against our people. Because if you voted, you are an accessory to the crime against black people. What we should be doing is gathering our resources as an individual and pooling our resources as a nation. That's what we should be doing. We shouldn't be worried about who's going to take office in January. First, it's not our business. Now, just imagine. I always mention Brother Kyrie because we chop it up all the time and we just build all the time. Just imagine you are a rape victim. Okay? You're being raped by 2 people, Democrats, Republicans. You're being raped constantly. You have been raped for a long time. They've just been raping you. And those 2 rapists began to fight. Just imagine, those 2 rapists began to fight. Why would you want to break that fight up and draw attention to yourself? Why would you want that fight to break up? When it's your chance to escape? We have Negroes that want to break that fight up instead of escaping. Let your rapists, the both of them, destroy each other, kill each other. And you escape. You're rapists, the Republicans and Democrats. But that's all they ever did to our people was rape us. Regardless to what it is, you can even go to the art forms we create. We get raped constantly. Why? We don't put our trust in ourselves. Whatever we do, we need to do it collectively. None of us have the answers, all of the answers, but together, we got all the answers together. And we need to stop fighting each other. I see a whole bunch of brothers and sisters, they'll have their YouTube platforms, and then they'll just all of a sudden go after another brother or sister over this. And we make mockery of ourselves in the presence of our open and consistent enemy. They sit back and they laugh at us. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. Now, we were united more when we were in chattel slavery. Okay, and we had a more fighting spirit. But now we think that we're free. We think we're free. We're not free. We need to actually free ourselves by coming together. We can get a complete freedom with our unity, because the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said that our unity is more powerful than a nuclear bomb. And that's why our enemy work day and night, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to keep us divided. And they have now YouTube and all the social media. It was brought forth to actually destroy us. But you know who keeps the media? You know who keeps the media honest? We do. Because when they come out with the propaganda, we come out with the truth. And that's what we gotta constantly do. We gotta constantly, every time they come out with something, we come out with a contrary or truthful rebuttal to their nonsense. Because they'll always come out and say something that's detrimental, or they'll say something that's incriminating about brother or sister. They can murder an innocent man and they will try to criminalize him. They have murdered innocent men and women and tried to criminalize them. Like our sister, Tatiana Jefferson, she's playing video games with her young nephew, and the neighbor called the police because the door was ajar. Instead of them going and knocking on the door to see if everything's okay at the home, the police was all in her backyard, prowling. They are considered prowlers because they wasn't sent there for that. But once you get a overzealous nitwit in the backyard, she had every right to go to her window the way she did. And she had a right to actually shoot at whoever was out there on the other side of that window. But the police officer told her to show her hands, and she's in her home, and murdered the sister. They murdered the sister in Kentucky. Breonna Taylor, they murdered her and tried to criminalize her. The young sister, who I have a daughter her age, and I have daughters older than she, was a emergency technician. She was EMT. And they tried to criminalize her That's what they do. If you stole a pack of now-and-laters when you was 15 years old or 12, they're going to bring that up when they murder you. Yet, an answer to that is our unity. If they know emphatically that, okay, these brothers are solid, or these brothers and sisters are solid, they love each other and they show it. Every time you see them, it's all love. And we can't penetrate that. We can't. Every time, you know, Brother Kyrie and Nasir seen together is saluting and they greet each other, or they fly over to the West Coast and they see Brother Chris Cyphers and they salute and they all together and Chris come over to see them. That's how we have to get it. And whatever the other brothers and sisters are at, we showing the love. I don't like the word a black front, because you know where I come from, front means that you are not real with it. You're fronting. I want it to be real. I want it to be solid, solidified. I like when they see myself and the brothers I'm with, they know they can't come over with the nonsense. We got to get that. We got to spread love. We got to spread that love and make that love all over across the nation, regardless to what the brother and sister faith is. There's one thing about the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam wants to unite with our people at all costs, because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to get all of his people. As a matter of fact, he told him that he would get all of his people. You have some that they're fighting to their own detriment. It's to their own detriment. And all of us is not going to make it. As a matter of fact, some of them we're going to have to deal with in another manner, because they are coming between our salvation. We're talking about an entire nation of people. Excuse me, and we can't allow anyone to do anything that's going to stop our salvation. And also, no one, absolutely no one, is going to contribute to our salvation but us. So if you're looking for any benevolent white people, you're going to be looking for a long time. A very long time. As a matter of fact, you will be leaving here without it happening. I will be leaving here without it happening. So I'm not going to be looking for anyone benevolent to do anything for me and mine, when it's my responsibility anyway. It's our responsibility. We don't realize that our behavior blocks our blessing. That's what our behavior is doing. And we don't realize that the true and living God that we are looking for is us. It's us. Yet, we have to be united. We can't behave the way we behave and expect to do anything to take care of any business. Now, you don't see the Navy going to war with the Air Force, the Air Force with the Marines, Marines with the Army or the National Guard. When they get called to go out, when they get deployed, Brother Chris Cyphers, no, he's a military man. When they get deployed, it's all the same goal. Hit the targets that we're foolish enough to hit, that our own enemy sent us to kill our own damn people. Hit the targets that they sanctioned. So we have to unite and be serious. We can't play. This is not a play day. We cannot play with the only life that we have. I haven't known or seen anybody who came back and told me how it is on the other side. So being that this is the only life that we have to make the best of it. And if you have children and grandchildren like I do, you want to make the world a better place for them. And you want to safeguard them. How could you have children and not try to make things better for them? By being a soldier. You got to be a soldier, because why? It's going to be a time when your little baby is going to have to go out into this world, and it's the wilderness of North America. Not only that, Tamir Rice was like 10, 11 years old. Murdered. Ayanna Jones in Detroit, sitting on her grandmother's bed, murdered. That she was 7 years old and murdered. So we have to be soldiers. We cannot play. We have to be soldiers. And we have to be serious all the time. Now, I crack jokes like everybody else. My brother cracked jokes all the time. Yet when it comes down to taking care of the business, we have to be serious all the time. And if you have someone who you're taking care of, you have to protect them with all you have. Because when we're praying, we're also being the prey. We have to be mindful of our surroundings. You have to check out the surroundings of your brother and your sister. It's been times my brother drove past my house. I didn't even know he came past my house. He'll call me, brother, I went past your house. Checking on your house. That's what we're supposed to take care of each other like that. Why? Because our enemy is lurking. They're lurking. And they always try to find a way, because for one, they're bloodthirsty. And they're going to, a lot of times they get frustrated. And you can tell. They say, I don't care about this job no more. But before I go, I'm going to kill me a Negro, a nigger. I don't care if it's somebody's child. Like the 18-year-old young brother, Devin Tillman, down in Jacksonville, 18 years old, shot into the car 35 times. And they said he found the gun. You found the gun after you murdered him. He didn't point the gun at you. And not only that, why when they see 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse with an AR-15, Why isn't that a threat? That should be a threat. Kyle Rittenhouse came from Illinois to Minnesota with an AR-15 and ended up killing somebody, killing 2 people, as a matter of fact. When they seen Kyle Rittenhouse with the AR-15, the police had a conversation with him, admired the gun, and said that they appreciated a 17-year-old with an AR-15. They appreciated him being there. But a black man carrying a gun legally. Now, 17-year-old, from my understanding, he got the gun with a stimulus check. That's what I heard. He purchased the gun, the AR-15. He had somebody go in because he couldn't buy it, so somebody purchased it for him. And if you come to Minnesota from Illinois, which is like a state over, with an AR-15, and not only that, you carry an AR-15 for one reason only. And why do troublemakers start trouble? And as soon as you check their chin, the first thing they do is want to shoot you. What we need to start doing, you are out your mind, brothers and sisters, if you are in an open carry state, if you're not carrying openly. Let them pass a law in New Jersey that I can carry a gun openly. I have guns all around my damn belt. Any way I reach, it'll be a gun there. I don't understand what the situation is. When they pull, it should be like the Wild Wild West. It should be drawn. It should be drawn with them. Too many of us is falling without someone being buried on their side the same exact day, or at least the same week. Again, I'm not advocating being a midnight marauder or someone who commit crimes, but if somebody murder your child, murder your loved one, it's your responsibility, because justice is a reward or penalty. And you know that we haven't been given any type of justice. You may have Benjamin Crump come get you a bag, which would be kind of dangerous for me, because the bag would be spent on some damn weapons. War has been waged on us, and we don't have time for nothing but preparedness. That's the only thing we have time for, preparedness. And as my brother Kyrie said the other day, the only right we have is to defend our damn selves. It's the only right we have. We don't have no rights but to defend ourselves. And the only thing we have time for is preparedness. And when people hear you say prepare, they want to label you as something bad. But when they prepare, or they're responsible, we have to prepare. Teach your baby to throw their bottle at the enemy. That's how we got to teach our people. We have to work out together. We have to study together. We have to go to the range together. We got to pray together. We got to break bread together. We got to do everything collectively. It's the only way we're going to get solid. It's the only thing that we could do to get ourselves out of harm's way by our open and consistent enemy. No time for playing. Love is duty. There's nothing emotional about love. It's duty. You are duty bound when you love somebody. When you have a wife, when you say I do, it's I do to duty. That's what you're saying I do to. And if she's not feeling protected, whether a man who is charged with her is not deserving of her. You have to, protect your loved ones. And preparing is only responsible. Now, you may have women who say they don't want guns in their house. Yet, you still have to be responsible. You just tell your missus, okay, you don't have guns and you don't have to have guns in your house. But I won't have one in mine. Even if you live with her, you gotta tell her that. But do it all legal. I'm not saying go out and buy no hot guns with bodies on it. Do it legal, because if you keep it, if you flying straight, they can't stop you from getting a gun. I know they'll try to, but you fight them tooth and nail to get it. And not only that, a responsible person will have a gun. They would. And they'll keep it safe with all safety guidelines. They'll have it stored. We need to have that. Why? Because our children need to be protected too. Your homes need to be protected. If somebody come in your house to invade your house, do a home invasion, like they did in Kentucky, like those race soldiers did in Kentucky, you have to be able to drive them off. And not only that, don't just have a gun, go to the range. I am totally for gun control. Gun control is a good legislation. Gun control to me is aiming straight and hitting your target. That's gun control. I'm totally for that. You gotta have gun control. Because our enemy is coming in our homes now. It used to be, oh, it's not safe out here. No, it's not safe in your homes no more. We need to make our homes safe and all of our surroundings safe. Not even safe in the home. Call your brother and your sister daily. Make sure they're straight. If they're not straight, straighten them. Because again, love is duty. Because the only way we're going to stop our enemy from murdering us or having it in their mind to do anything harmful to us is that we have to show love to our brothers and sisters. Show love to us in the presence of them. Not fronting real, pure unadulterated love in front of them, because what they see is vulnerability in our relationship as a people. And they use that to their advantage. Because if someone knows, 9 times out of 10, if someone knows, okay, these two are having problems, or they had words, then they come dropping their words, adding their words. You know, the propaganda, the divisiveness. No, we gotta stop that. Because for one, you must be very mindful when an unrighteous person bring you news. An unrighteous person should not be able to bring you news. And we must learn how to take what we need, the nutrients, and leave the rest. Because I watch the news all the time. But I've been studying these people for so long that I can eat the fish, spit out the bone. Matter of fact, before I even fry the fish up, I fillet it. Take the bones out of it. Whatever's harmful, take it out of it. Yet, our enemy loves bringing bad news and things detrimental to the equation. When they see us about to unite, that's when they'll send the people who look like us in to try to organize. Let me tell you something. When they see you got something going, they'll send somebody in to actually organize you. That's why you shouldn't have these new people coming around. Because it's been people that risen to an official rank in some of our organization, and they were infiltrators. The bigger the circle, the bigger the possibility of betrayal. And we have to keep our people tight. You have to have a nucleus. You must have a nucleus. And everybody who come in your rank and file has to be vetted, had to be watched on a protracted period. I know sometimes they go deep undercover to do everything. Yet, there's a consequence for that, though. We have to be serious about that also. Now, if we are doing something on behalf of our people, we're serious about it, and you have someone come in and disrupt it, the consequence has to be very dire. Very dire. Drop you off a bridge, dire. Because we're talking about an entire nation of people. We can't have anyone coming and disrupting what we're trying to do. And especially if we're not committing crimes. And then you have people coming to us suggesting that we do something that we know is not right. That's an agent. When you have somebody coming to us telling us, okay, these brothers on the other side of town is such and such, such and such, we got to go and handle them. That's not how you're supposed to operate. Especially if those brothers are doing the same exact thing you're doing. Whatever we do it collectively and we do it righteously because we want to make sure that we are justifying our existence. That's why I warn people. I will warn you more than 3 times. So when I go upside your head, I'm justified. I don't just go upside your head. Unless you just totally disrespectful that it happens when it happens. Yet, we have to keep our circle tight. A circle can grow, but it's still the possibility of betrayal when the circle grows. It still is. But you got to make sure that person that come in your circle is of alike minds and spirit. Because it's going to get worse out here. It's not the worst it's going to come, because as you can see, the metamorphosis building, that our enemy is becoming more and more and more deadly and tired of us. I don't know why, but they are becoming more and more tired of us. Perhaps they know they're at their end. One of the reasons they're at their end. And when you know that you're at your end, they become desperate, and they start getting deadlier and deadlier and deadlier. And they are not hiding it. That's why our channel is called The Enemy's Public. They're not hiding how they feel. Donald Trump, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, is peeling back the onion, the layers. And also, it said the lull before the storm. We had more than one lull, okay? We had Barack Obama was a lull. He lulled us back to sleep, making us think it was a post-racial society that we were living in. And Trump, you had an ET to Trump, you got Trumpette. He woke our ass back up, letting us know that we're not living in a post-racial society. And he got some people with his alike mind that's proving it to us that we're not living in a post-racial society. And they're going to become deadlier and deadlier and deadlier. And we will be foolish to do anything but go accordingly. Meaning, preparedness, and exercising our right. As Brother Kyrie said, right to defend. I'm going to conclude this broadcast. I hope the brothers and sisters enjoyed it. It's my first time doing a live. I will get better. I will have it so I can have brothers and sisters, because I would love to have brothers and sisters, and I would love to have my, the co-host in with me. He's in Pennsylvania. I'd love to have him come in. We do it like that. And I hope you enjoyed what the Enemy's Public had to say this evening. Know that I come at my brothers and sisters like this because I love my people with all my being. I love my people. And just want you to know that. This is the Enemy's Public, and I'm Brother Nasir. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section. Peace.